Observe a conversation between two ordinary people. Watch the rhythm. One person speaks, and the very microsecond they finish, the other person jumps in. Sometimes they do not even wait. They interrupt. They talk over each other. They are not listening. They are simply waiting for their turn to reload and fire their own opinions. We are culturally conditioned to fear dead air. We are taught that silence in a conversation is awkward, uncomfortable, and must be filled immediately. But in the realm of high-level human dynamics, the person who rushes to fill the silence is always the person who loses the game. Welcome to Quiet Power. Today, we are exploring one of the most lethal, highly guarded secrets used by elite negotiators, master interrogators, and stoic observers. We are going to teach you how to use the crushing weight of absolute silence to make toxic people expose, dismantle, and destroy themselves. To understand this weapon, we must first analyze how a manipulator attacks you. Manipulators rely heavily on momentum. They operate using a ping-pong strategy. They hit the ball into your court with a passive-aggressive comment, a blatant lie, or a sudden accusation. They fully expect you to immediately hit the ball back with a defense, an excuse, or an angry reaction. By keeping the rally moving at lightning speed, they control the pace of your brain. They keep your nervous system in a state of hyper-arousal. When you are forced to react quickly, you cannot think strategically. You become emotional. You say things you regret. You over-explain. They use speed to bypass your logic and directly hack into your emotional hard drive. So what is the ultimate counterattack? How do you break a system that relies on momentum? You simply drop the racket. You introduce a concept known in dark psychology as the tactical pause. Imagine this scenario. A toxic colleague, a narcissistic partner, or a disrespectful individual throws a highly offensive, manipulative statement at you. Their eyes are locked onto yours, waiting for the explosion. They are bracing for your anger. Instead of reacting, you do exactly nothing. You do not break eye contact. You do not change your facial expression. You do not cross your arms. You look at them with cold, dead, absolute stillness. And you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. 5 seconds of dead silence in a tense conversation feels like an eternity. It is a psychological vacuum, and human nature absolutely despises a vacuum. Let us autopsy exactly what happens inside the manipulator's brain during those 5 seconds of your silence. In the first 2 seconds, they are confused. Their brain sent out an input but received no output. The ping-pong ball went over the net, but it never bounced back. By second number 3, their anxiety begins to spike. The silence is deafening. Without your reaction to guide them, they suddenly become hyper-aware of what they just said. Because you have not reacted, they cannot project the blame onto your anger. The spotlight of the conversation is violently redirected back onto them. By second number 4 and 5, they reach the breaking point. The pressure of the unreciprocated energy becomes unbearable. They feel naked, exposed, and intensely foolish. And this is when the magic happens. To relieve their own agonizing anxiety, they will break the silence. They will start talking again. But this time they are no longer on the offensive. They have lost their footing. They will begin to backpedal. I mean, I didn't mean it like that. They will start to over-explain themselves. It's just that I was stressed and I thought you were thinking this. They will start to negotiate with themselves out loud. Without you lifting a single finger, without you speaking a single word of defense, they are dismantling their own argument. They are digging their own grave and eagerly jumping inside. This is the power of the interrogator's stare. Elite law enforcement interrogators use this exact technique on suspects. They ask a question, the suspect gives a lie, and the interrogator simply leans back and says nothing. The suspect's own guilt and discomfort with the silence forces them to keep talking to fill the void, eventually dropping contradictory details that expose their entire lie. When you use the tactical pause, you are no longer a participant in their drama. You become an intelligence gatherer. By staying quiet, you allow them to reveal their true cards. When people are rushing to fill an uncomfortable silence, their mask slips. They will accidentally reveal their true motives, their hidden insecurities, and their actual agenda. You learn more about a toxic person in 5 seconds of dead silence than you would in 5 hours of arguing with them. But how do you master this physical execution? It requires immense self-control because your own ego will be screaming at you to fight back. You must anchor yourself physically. When they speak their insult, plant your feet firmly on the ground. Feel the weight of your own body. Let your facial muscles go completely slack. Imagine that you are watching a movie in a foreign language without subtitles. You can see their mouth moving, you can hear the sound waves, but the words hold absolutely no emotional meaning to you. If you want to add an extra layer of psychological dominance, slightly tilt your head. Look at them as if they are a fascinating, slightly confused animal that has wandered into your house. Then, after the 5 or 10 seconds have passed, and they have stumbled through their awkward backpedaling, you have 3 options. Option 1. You completely ignore what they just said and change the subject to something incredibly mundane. Anyway, I'm going to get some coffee. This signals absolute devastating disregard for their existence. Option 2. You ask a simple, clarifying question with a completely flat tone. Are you done? Or, did you think saying that would achieve something? This forces them to analyze their own foolish behavior. Option 3. You simply turn your back and walk away, leaving them standing entirely alone with the toxic mess they just created. In every single scenario, you hold the ultimate power. Because you refuse to play their game, you force them to play yours. A weak mind believes that power is being the loudest person in the room. A weak mind believes that power is having the last word, the sharpest comeback, or the most aggressive defense. But a master of silent power knows the truth. Power is not making noise. Power is controlling the space between the noise. When you master the pause, you become a psychological sniper. You do not waste ammunition spraying blindly into the dark. You sit perfectly still, perfectly hidden, and you let the enemy walk out into the open and expose themselves. Stop catching the knives they throw at you. Let the knives fall to the ground. Let them stand there empty-handed looking foolish while you look at them with the calm, terrifying indifference of a king observing a jester. Silence is not an absence of communication. It is the heaviest, most intimidating response you can possibly give. If you are ready to stop arguing, stop explaining, and start letting silence do the heavy lifting for you, like this video and subscribe. The evolution into your most powerful self continues here. Master the pause. Stay unbothered. Stay powerful.